Yes, y'all. Welcome into episode 93 of the Dunmarks podcast, coming at you on this holiday edition. Fellas, what's going on? How we feeling? How we living? We good?
I'm good.
We're back assembled. The Avengers have assembled today. All four of us back at it again. Glad to see the fourth member returned with sunburnt on the top of his hands.
Are you really happy?
No. Well, yeah, I am. I miss you.
My hands like I was playing hot hands with kids all day and losing, man. It was
That's your excuse? Playing hot hands with the kids and losing?
Like I possessed a dark hold. It was
Hey, keep that clip of the week going around because that's the biggest flagrant foul ever. I'm glad people are sharing it and commenting as much.
It's not though.
Did anybody notice Did anybody notice the new intro today?
I did. I seen the picture in there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Got new intro going.
You're lucky your face is on the screen right now. Yes, sir, Kenny. Everybody's here, ready to get into the shits and giggles. Got a lot of stuff to cover this week. So I had an intro topic, but I'm gonna push it and save it. It doesn't fit the vibe for today's show. We're gonna have some fun today, keep it light and airy, upbeat for the most part. And as I say those words, I gotta remember that I have to discuss WWE, so that's completely a false statement. I'm gonna walk all that back right off the bat. So but yeah. So what do we want to get into? I got nothing right now. I'm gonna hold off on my topic until we can deep dive into a longer intro. I'll save mine. So what Ian's got to get into?
I just want to let you guys know this is me 24/7. I travel in sweats.
No.
I live in sweats.
We're not doing this.
Yes, how do you pack sweats? I travel in sweats.
No. It was a foul. It was a flagrant foul. It was a flagrant 6. They don't even have those in the NBA. It went just from a ticky-tack foul. You got ejected and suspended for half the season after wearing a full black sweatsuit to the beach. We're not giving you a defense. There's no coming back from that.
You didn't like WWE's fashion show last night?
So I'll touch on it. To be honest,
we'll touch about that.
We'll touch about it, but I cut the show off after the opening segment. Cut it off. And I'll get into my reasons as to why. I read up on what happened the rest of the show this morning just so I could be prepared to come in and talk about it. But yeah, we'll get into that because it was just trash. So, what intro wise, what you got, Donald? You got any gaming news? I know we're going to save. We got a special little in-show segment coming up here later on that we'll get into a little lengthy gaming talk discussion. But you got anything else to cover intro wise?
Gaming wise, nothing. Just for our little topic later.
All right, then we'll get into Smash or Trash.
Oh, fat kid edition on a holiday weekend. All right, hold on, wait, time out, pause. This popped back into my mind. So, okay. I don't know how many of you guys know this, and this may be a Pittsburgh thing because Pittsburgh does have their own things. You know, we put fries on the sandwiches, fries on the salad, stuff like that, right? Have you guys had the strawberry pretzel salad?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know, Kenny, you may chime in here. I don't know if you're aware of what that is, or you can Google it and see images for it, right? But I saw going around on Twitter this week, there was a debate going around saying that the strawberry pretzel salad is the best summertime cookout dessert that there is.
Hands down.
Definitely one of the most popular.
It's trash.
It's not trash.
Trash. It's the worst thing ever made.
Wow, you don't know you got the wrong people making it then.
It's trash.
What don't you like about it?
Everything. I don't like the look. I don't like the presentation. I don't like the layering. It's garbage. It's trash.
You hate everything happy. Jello. You hate Jello.
Jello is not good unless you put Cool Whip on top of it.
Jello is good regardless. Cool Whip.
Or vodka. Or rum, whatever Jello shots, I'll do them. But yeah, you're not just gonna hand me a bowl of orange Jello and say happy day. No, that's not.
Tear it up. Everything in there. The pretzels may be trash, but that adds to it.
It gives you that salty, that sweet.
Yeah.
You know, you get that whole combination in one dessert.
Trash. I couldn't. I'm like, this is. I
don't know. I'm finding more about you every day.
That's the one thing Jason makes.
The one thing I'm good at, Steve hates.
And then somebody else chimed in with pistachio fluff and stuff, and I'm like, what the hell are we doing right now? Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, you never had that in Eden Park salad bar?
Oh,
that's good too.
I've had pistachio flavored ice cream, but I've never had pistachio fluff.
Yeah,
good.
Whatever the hell it is.
Good.
But I mean, like, why are we even
put in my top 10 desserts of all time?
You need to come down to my end of the salad bar. All the good shit is.
Yeah, that's just, I don't know. To me, that I don't know. That was a whack take to me. I don't see how strawberry pretzel salad is the best summertime cookout dessert there is.
What is the best summertime cookout dessert?
Dessert? Like, okay, so wait, are we now? Yeah, Donald. Yeah, Donald. Since this was good segue. Well, we'll circle back around to that because I got we got some clarifying questions. But Donald, your popsicle argument, because I got a feeling this may not vibe with everybody. But go ahead and say go ahead, put it out there.
So we're gonna do it now.
We're doing it now. Whatever.
Okay.
Fuck it, let's go.
Okay. So during Chris's one guy to go, me, Jason, and Chris was discussing about popsicles, this and that. For me, I always grew up. Anything, ice cream, anything that is on a stick is considered a popsicle. Anything. It don't matter what it is. If it got a stick underneath of it, it's a popsicle. So we've been debating about we've been debating about this for like almost 3 weeks now and that stuff. So I had to finally take it to the people in the polls this week.
You literally just said ice cream. Ice cream. Just on because you put ice cream on a stick.
It's a popsicle.
It's a popsicle. So it's considered a popsicle.
So it's not what makes the product. It's like because like Donald said, ice cream, he thinks cup and a cone. So it's like it's not the ice cream that makes it ice cream; it's the cup or the cone to Donald that makes it ice cream.
That is correct.
It's the stick that makes it a popsicle.
Yes.
So then, what's a push-up?
Push-up is a popsicle,
but it's not.
It's on a stick.
No. It's on.
That's a stick. No matter how you twist it,
it's on a cylinder. It's being pushed up by a stick, but that don't mean it's not.
There you go. You just.
But it's not sitting on the stick.
It's on a stick.
I don't eat around this. I don't eat around the stick to eat a push-up.
It comes with a stick.
In order to get it out of the container, yes, it comes with a stick to get it out of the container.
It's a popsicle.
It comes with a stick. It's a popsicle.
I'm not eating around the stick.
It's a popsicle.
So I got this last night. So
corn dog is a popsicle.
So like in the fall, people put fruit and like candy apples and stuff on a stick. Are those considered popsicles?
It's like Jason just said, a corn dog. Is that a popsicle because it's on a stick? By your logic, yes, Donald, it would be a popsicle. Anything on a stick.
That was for you, Kenny.
No, because those are not ice treats.
So come on.
I'm talking about ice treats. I'm not talking about corn dogs. I'm not talking about candy apples. I'm talking about ice cream. I'm talking about the popsicles, anything like that.
I'm having fucking deja vu right now about criteria again.
Yes. Well, we said that we was going to dig deep into this, so I'm digging deep into this.
If it's not on a stick, then it's not a popsicle. Correct. If it's a frozen treat and it's not on a stick, it's not a popsicle.
It's a kebab.
What's a freeze pop?
Freeze pop's a freeze pop. There's no stick in it.
It's short for popsicle.
Freeze pop, it comes in a bag. There's no stick in it.
It's freeze pop.
It's a freeze pop. Oh, trust me, man. One of my friends tried to come at me like that. I know where you're getting at, but it doesn't have a stick. It has to have a stick. If it has a stick, it's considered a popsicle. Something in the bag is not a stick. Plastic.
The WWE ice cream bars back in the day, they were ice cream bars. They didn't say they were ice cream popsicles.
To you, they were ice cream bars. To me, they're popsicles because they have sticks in them.
Yeah.
I'm eating ice cream. I'm not eating a popsicle.
You have it on a stick. It's a popsicle.
It was ice cream.
It's a popsicle.
It's ice cream.
It's a
Ice
popsicle.
cream.
Oh, but trust me.
This is,
But
I just
trust me.
feel such a cultural debate right now.
But trust me. After the polls that everybody did, I mean, everybody's different in all kind of ways. There was many my way. There was many your way. There was, so I just had to take it to the people and consider.
You know what this argument is?
What were the results of the polls, Donald?
Okay, so I put up 7 pictures of things that I think are popsicles, and I put the names and said popsicles with the question, yes or no. So we had 318 votes on this poll between my social medias.
Nice.
So the first one was the bomb pop, and these are all together. The bomb pop, is it a popsicle?
Yes.
43 people said yes. 3 people said no.
Bomb pop, the red, white, and blue.
Yes, the red, white, and blue.
Yeah,
so I did the Sonic treats. You know,
I think
the
it's
Sonic the Hedgehog with the thing, with the stick up the bottom. 27 people said yes as a popsicle. 19 people said no as a popsicle.
We need to figure out what those treats are made of to determine.
Sure, maybe.
Because yeah, Jason, you brought that up in that segment. Like, what are they made of? And I don't know if they're ice cream or if they're sherbet or something else.
Mm-hmm.
It got a stick in it. It's a popsicle. The strawberry crunch. 27 people.
Ice cream.
27 people said yes, that's a popsicle. 22 people said no.
It's ice cream.
The fruit smoothie. 23 people said yes, it's a popsicle. 15 people said no, it's not a popsicle. The wrestling bar. 17 people said yes, that's a popsicle. 30 people said no, that's not a popsicle.
Bar in the name. They're confused.
Ice cream.
The push-up. 37 people said yes, that's a popsicle. 9 people said no, it's not a popsicle.
It's not. It's sherbet.
Freeze pop. 41 people said yes, that's a popsicle. 9 people said no, it's not a popsicle. So at the end of the day, 68% of the people who voted on this poll thinks all of those are popsicles.
Donald, I like your friends, man.
You know what this argument is? This argument is the stupid dress that went viral a couple years ago, where it was tell me the color of the dress. Is it red? Is it blue and black, or is it blue and brown, or whatever the question was? But that's exactly what this is. You're not going to get 100% of people to agree on.
Oh no, you're not. But I just want to see different people's opinions like that. Like for me and Jason, it's like for me and Jason, like all of those things with sticks in them are considered popsicles. That's how I grew up, knowing that was a popsicle. Yeah. I mean, I know what's on top and that stuff, but anything for me
where the logic is
has
flawed
a stick is a popsicle.
It's where the logic is flawed.
It ain't the logic is flawed.
That's flawed logic. That wouldn't survive the logic test.
It's like X, Y, and Z. Of course it wouldn't survive a damn logic test. It's my personal opinion. And that's what I thought it was. And that's what we were going as. Personal opinions. And to me, they're all popsicles.
Look, you could tell Donald was up for the shits today because he wore the beanie cap.
and
the glasses. He got the roses on and the beanie cap. So you knew he was ready to come in.
Heel Donald only wears the glasses.
Come in ready to go.
Oh, and I can't wait to talk about AEW, boy. I am Jason's underling in this now.
Pull my cloak down.
Do we got anything else intro? We got anything else intro wise?
We're gonna go through some Smasher trash real quick. All right. This week kind of blew up the internet. Taco Bell is testing out in their test kitchen a Crunchwrap Supreme made with one big ass Cheez-It inside of it.
Smash.
Trash.
I'm gonna smash it, but it just sounds
yeah, different. We'll see. So this is just in their test kitchen in California. So we'll see if this actually makes it out in the actual restaurants. This week saw the first pumpkin spice stuff of the season. It's fucking July, and we're doing pumpkin spice stuff.
No, it's trash.
We got Edie's pumpkin pie ice cream.
Trash.
I don't like Edie's ice cream. Trash.
And then Chobani coffee cold brew with pumpkin spice creamer.
So I would drink that, but I'm not drinking it until at least September 1st.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to call me a couple months later.
Yeah. Like I mean, at least September 1st. Like
key lime Twizzlers for the summertime.
trash.
Smash those. Naked Juice is coming out with an orange vanilla cream juice and a key lime juice.
Trash.
Kind of like smoothies.
Trash.
Too much health in there.
They're not really that healthy for you. They got sued over that years ago.
So much sugar.
Yeah, you better off just sitting there and you remember people in junior high would sell the Happy Crack, the bags of sugar with the Kool-Aid in it. That's pretty much what you were doing whenever you were drinking a Naked Juice whenever they first came out.
Totino's Pizza Rolls are coming out with a buffalo chicken roll.
Smash.
I'll give them a try.
I'll give those a try, yeah. We talked about one of these, but they kind of paired them up again. Sam's Club is going to have 2 Doritos limited edition. One is Buffalo Ranch, and another is a Twisted Southwest Ranch.
Didn't the Buffalo Ranch just come out?
Yeah. So that's already in store.
Yeah, I saw the Buffalo Ranch ones at
Smash
last time I was there.
Smash.
I'll pass. I'm out on the old. Everything got to be a flaming hot this and hot buffalo. I'm out on it. Like can't do it no more.
Yeah, I'd like to try both of those. Hers chips. They're doing Philly inspired flavors. So they're doing a Whiz and Wit for a Philly cheesesteak, a 215 special, looks like ketchup and hot sauce, and then a long hots flavor.
Trash.
Yeah.
The only thing good hers makes, only thing good hers makes are the honey cheese curls.
Yeah, it's Philly, so I'll pass on that. Lay's is coming out with kettle cooked Fritos chili cheese flavored chips.
Smash.
Trash.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, and the last one. Big news here this week. If you guys didn't see it or not, throwing back to the 90s, Slice is coming back.
What?
Yeah. So they're going to have 4 flavors: orange, lemon lime, cherry, and berry.
The basic. Smash.
Orange and cherry for sure are going into rotation. And we'll save the red pop discussion that we had, but that sliced cherry is going to be better than something else. JJ, if you're listening, we'll get into that. We'll get into that on a different week.
That's all I have.
That's a little inside. That's a little inside discussion that got heated while we were watching.
Yeah, it did.
Forbidden Door on Sunday night. You would have thought like people were playing Monopoly. It got heated over red pop. So we'll get into that at a later time. All right. So we good with the intro? You ready to get into it?
Let's do it.
All right, let's go. Bell to bell. All right, a ton happened World of Pro Wrestling this week. We're not going to run through and nitpick at everything. I think there's enough glaring, I don't want to say glaring overall arcing questions, but there was some questions that came out this week to where you can deep dive into some stuff and touch on it. And we'll run through what may have got you upset, excited, whatever the case may be from pro wrestling. So I initially wanted to call this episode Unhappy Ending, right? And for those of you that don't know what I'm speaking of, I'm talking about the way the pay-per-view ended at Forbidden Door.
100%.
So just to backtrack this and tie it in, we talked last Saturday about how the lead up to Forbidden Door, they ran Dynamite Wednesday, Friday, and they ended it with pandemonium and a beatdown and people clearing out the locker room and chaos and everything else. It's the same exact way they ended the pay-per-view. To build up to this blood and guts match that, for all intents and purposes, I could have gave 2 shits about. I was not interested in it to begin with. You literally you build it up for an entire week, and you ended a historic show between 2 of the biggest wrestling companies in the world by setting up your Wednesday night main event.
So it's technically 3 segments that they interrupted Moxley and Tanahashi just to build up
Correct.
to that match.
Yes.
Correct.
Horrible.
We called out the booking with AEW here a little bit recently with what they were doing leading up to the pay-per-view. And then it just continued this week. So, I mean, we're not going to go match by match for the pay-per-view, but I think, Jay, I don't know if you caught it and watched it. I think we're unanimous here from the three of us that did watch it that Cassidy and Ospreay was match of the night.
Yeah.
Stole the show, hands down.
Yeah.
Behind that, I would put in probably the tag match.
Yes.
And I think Cassidy and Ospreay was the match that we talked about. Like really, this is the original match that was planned, and it delivered. Slow build the whole match.
I'm eating some humble pie because I said that last week on the show that this is a terrible, terrible book match.
And that was no faith in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tore the house down with it.
Absolutely.
Right. Yep. FTR winning. Rumor and innuendo comes out that the Bucks were supposed to win and then face Jungle Express and win the AEW belts to have all the belts and then face FTR, a match later on down the road. I saw on Twitter, and I want to give the guy a shout out because this was by far what I am most interested in seeing for All Out. So his Twitter handle is at JustSir37. And he said, "Hear me out. Young Bucks versus FTR at All Out. 2 out of 3 falls. First fall, New Japan tag titles. Second fall, AEW tag titles. Third fall, if needed, all titles, including ROH and AAA." And I said, book it, take my money, and make it the main event.
Hold on. Say the third one again.
The third fall would be
for
all the belts. So the New Japan, AEW, ROH, AAA, all 4 belts would be in the third fall. Basically, winner take all at that point. So they would be 1-1. And then the third fall would be for all the belts.
Then you're having a pointless title change in the middle of a match. I can see if each one had a different stipulation, but if the last pin is going to take everything, there's no point in having the first. Well,
the last pin would be they're 1-1 and they're dead even in their matchup since they started. So this last fall is going to determine who's the best tag team in the world, and that team that wins is going to take all the belts.
I like to see the match.
I don't, if you want to set up the first and second fall differently to get to the third fall being the winner take all fall, I'm okay with adjusting the formula for the first 2 falls, but give me that match.
The only way I see that being the main event is if Punk's not healthy. Because
I don't care if Punk is healthy.
They're not going to not put that match in the main event, though.
I'm okay with the match with.
They're not going to run Punk versus. They're not going to run Punk versus Tanahashi or Punk versus Moxley at All Out.
I'm okay with. I'm okay with the match, but not for all the belts. I'm tired of the belt collecting whole aspect of everything.
See, I don't view this one so much as being belt collecting, even though you have all the belts.
It's belt collecting. If you have one or more belt, it's belt collecting. That's
I mean, it goes back to your popsicle argument. If it's on a stick, it's a popsicle. To me, that's not them going out and collecting all the belts. That wasn't their mission statement. It wasn't Omega saying, "I'm going to be the belt collector and go out and collect all the belts." So just because they hold all the belts doesn't mean that they're belt collectors.
Then what is it?
Better than everybody else.
Then what is it?
Was Ultimo Dragon a belt collector?
No, he was just better than everybody else. Right?
Matt Cardona, a belt collector?
No, he's just been better than everybody else.
Welcome back, Nathan.
I'm back from vacay.
Okay.
We're not talking about your vacay. So, all right, we won't get bogged down in the minutia of that, but
I'm here for the match.
Give me that.
Yeah.
Yes.
FTR had a 60-day title run with the AEW tag belts and then dropped them to the Bucks. They've yet to get a rematch since they've lost to the Bucks for the AEW tag team titles. They are the hottest tag team in pro wrestling. Dax, through the first half of the year, is arguably in the top 5 for Wrestler of the Year between what he's done in tag matches and singles. So put it on. Like, that's your... They talked about the tag team wrestling with AEW starting, and tag team wrestling is going to be important, and it's going to be a backbone of the company and everything else. And 2 of your 4 EVPs that founded the company are tag team wrestlers. We've yet to have a tag team main event to show.
Mm.
So if you're going to have all this on the line, you're going to have all these belts on the line, and it's going to be out there, then have the main event to show.
I'd rather see the main event than Punk ever main event again.
This is an interesting take, Steve. FTR is ratings kryptonite.
I need evidence of that. Show me their minute by minutes, I guess, or their segment blocks, because
in ring, I'd say no.
Oh, I love watching them wrestle.
Promo and everything else, I'd say yes.
I do love watching them wrestle.
Promo and segments, I'd say yes.
It's still to this day probably my match of the year right now from Ring of Honor back WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah, FTR and the Briscoes.
Yeah.
But Jay, to your point with promos, how often are they out there cutting a 10-minute promo? Never. So, like, they're straight shooters. They're going to give it to you how it is. You know, Dax is going to say pro wrestling is the most important thing to him. They're trying to take food from my baby's mouth and this and that, and let's go. Let's get it on. No flips, just fists. But they do. They're over as hell. Did you hear the pop for them on Wednesday night when they came out with Danhausen? So, to me, I don't see them being ratings killers. And we can get into a different debate at a different time as far as tag teams that, if you want to look at minute by minute ratings and all that, like how many tag teams were ratings draws, so to speak. Because for 20 plus years, we never had no emphasis put on tag team wrestling. Because WWE was the only thing around, so it was all singles.
I mean, you had some tag teams in TNA and some in Ring of Honor, but not enough emphasis on the whole division.
Not at all.
So yeah, that tweet caught my eye yesterday. I'm like, okay, I see where you're going, and I like what you're doing. I got no problem giving that. Give me that match.
If they build it up from now, give it to me. You know,
and there's the rub. So let's get into the booking of AEW, because we talked about it last week, and we said, what are you going to do after the pay-per-view?
Yeah.
Where are you going to go? What are you going to turn to start getting back to storytelling and building characters and getting people invested instead of just throwing matches together? And what did they announce for last night? A Royal Rampage, a Rampage Royale. 20 guys, 2 rings. I love the concept of it.
Different,
right? I like that. I mean, I like the alternating rings. I believe WCW
wasn't that World War III? Yeah, WCW did the 2 rings, and
but you haven't seen it since then, so it felt fresh. It felt new, right?
I mean, there's definitely a whole group of fans that probably never watched that before,
right? So yeah, I mean, you know, what's old is new again. We see that from fashion to wrestling. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. Yeah. But I like the concept of it. My argument and where I'm jaded with the booking of this type of match is because, You literally just did this to determine who would face Moxley in the title contender series to go on to Forbidden Door. So to me, you're just replaying the same thing that you did the first go around.
Yeah. And Brody won the match. And, he's not going to fight him at all out. So you're just going to get a match. Maybe
it's next week.
It's next week.
Okay,
It's on Dynamite. Yeah, it's on Dynamite. And you know who's going to win.
Yeah, you absolutely know who's going to win.
Yeah.
I'm very happy that they had Brody win it, because when they got to the final two, I'm like, Darby's going to win it again, and they're going to run Darby and Mox again, just because of it.
Yeah, I like it because it's someone that hasn't been in that picture before.
But yeah, don't replay the same. It's the same stipulation to crown a number one contender as what you did to crown the number one contender 2 weeks ago. And why are you doing this so soon to have a title match next week?
Yes.
When you have Battle of the Belts coming up too in a few weeks.
Ratings.
I mean, yes, the whole point of having the television show is to draw ratings, right? I still feel like we put too much emphasis on ratings because we don't know what a true rating is. There's no way to calculate exactly how many people are watching the show because you're still basing off of Nielsen ratings.
Yeah, I don't put no.
That doesn't account, like that type of stuff doesn't account for streaming. It doesn't, you know what I mean? Like DVR, if you don't watch it within so many hours, then it doesn't count towards the rating. Like people are consuming the show. We don't actually know what the true number is. So yeah, they did over 1 million people on Wednesday night. Great. But if they dip back down, or people want to say, oh, they fell off, they don't know what they're doing no more because they got under 1 million people.
That's exactly what will happen because that's consistent. There's a trend. AEW generally only does 1 million after a pay-per-view. I mean, they can do it for like special big events, but consistently, right after a pay-per-view, they get the numbers and then it dips again. And it's the trend. It's like.
And I saw a lot of hate for that Blood and Guts match on Wednesday night too.
Oh, I wish they would stop doing that match on TV because it takes away from the match. The match itself wasn't very good, but I think just the commercial breaks and everything just ruins the momentum of the match.
So what about the match for you wasn't good?
I hated the ending. It was too much. They focused completely on the top of the cage for the last 10, 15 minutes of the match. So you didn't see what was going on in the cage. What was everybody doing in there? Just standing around watching what was going on.
Oh yeah, you saw all of them. Yuta and Moxley were just sitting there talking to each other while looking up.
So
you clearly was
up there, and then I get you could tell a couple times they were trying to talk to the people down below to come up, but it's just like there were so many lulls in that ending.
Chris, there's a comment in there from Nate. Hold off. Well, you put it up. I was going to tell you to hold off, but is this real life? This is not real life.
That better not be.
That's Flair's last match, Nate Diaz.
It might be his last breath.
That can't be true.
That's horrible.
Oh, not real. All right, I was going to say, you never know with Meltzer. He just like Nate Black Scheftered us. We got swerved. So, but yeah, back to Blood and Guts. I agree with the whole ending with it being focused too much on the top of the cage. I feel like the finish wasn't even the finish to the match. I feel like the finish was the build to Cesaro and Eddie Kingston. Yeah. Because Eddie's come out and talked about he has real life heat with Cesaro, and he has not hid that fact.
Hopefully,
he has beef with everybody.
Yeah, because he runs his mouth.
That just seems like I mean, I know that's his like real life stuff, but it seems like his gimmick now. I just hate this man. 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 Again, he could talk me into the building, but once his match starts, I'm at the bar drinking.
And that was kind of how I felt on Wednesday. That he can hype me up in the match, but whenever I'm actually watching him, he doesn't do anything for me.
And that match did nothing for me because I've seen the match like 80 times already. We get on WWE about repeat matches. I'm sick of seeing these two groups fight each other. So I was bored the whole time with it.
I enjoyed Cesaro, I enjoyed Yuta, and I enjoyed Garcia. Which is the only three I really enjoyed watching that match.
So I know Toe, shout out Toe from Knuckleheads. He brought up, I saw his clip. Kingston, the Kingston's whole beef was I want to kill Jericho, right? Make him bleed. I'm gonna end his life, right? Basically saying he's gonna go in there and commit murder, right?
I did see that.
And then once he got in there, like you went after him initially, and then that was it. Like, I think Yuta German suplex Jericho how many times in a row, and Kingston just stood there and didn't do anything. Like, if you're out to draw blood and really destroy this person, why are you not over there stomping his face and everything else? Like,
yeah. If this is the match to do that.
Exactly. That's the whole point. You didn't do what you said you were going to do.
Yeah, that it completely fell flat on the concept. Because then even like when the cage came down, I was like, you know what, cool. I was like, they're around a crowd this year. They're actually in an arena. We're not going to see any the cage spots. And then, of course, we had to do a cage spot.
Well, you knew Sammy was going off top at some point. That was a given.
I mean, he hit it perfect. I'll give Sammy that. Like, that was a perfect spot. But
I'm just glad they shot it better than they did with Jericho's fall off the cage last year.
Yeah. Let's put the inflatable blob underneath the announce table.
I think the one spot that got me in that match where I damn near had a panic attack was the swing on top of the cage.
Okay.
That to me was like Jericho said it was. He was like, "Oh, that's the craziest, scariest spot I've done in my entire pro wrestling career. We'll never do it again." But yeah, luckily we pulled it off. I'm like, luckily you pulled it off. No shit. Like, after being in there for damn near an hour, you want to get up and have you be all sweaty, bloody, whatever, Cesaro, and you want to get up there and swing from a 25-foot top of the cage, like
close to the edge too.
Yeah,
close to the edge.
Because that's what I thought. I was like, can't you move in more in the center?
Yeah.
I just don't see how. And we talked about what they're going to do with booking moving forward and where they're going to go. But based off of what they've done so far, like, the only thing that you got story progression on, right, was Luchasaurus, Jericho, and Jungle Boy. Other than that, I don't think anything else was story progression. Maybe Jade and the baddies, then Athena and Statlander running on that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Then you had your Wardlow and Scorpio Sky just face off in the back for next week.
Yeah, we're getting a street fight.
The street fight.
Blood and guts. Now we're getting a street fight. But there's going to be shenanigans because Wardlow said it. Bring on the entire American top team. So we know we're getting all those fools coming up next week.
Way to get Scorpio to retain the title.
So, where's your reset button? Typically, when you come out of a big pay-per-view, you have your blow-off feuds, you reset, you do some recap, and then you start your next set of feuds and next set of stories. Where's their reset at?
I don't think they're going to hit the reset button until after All Out.
It's too far away.
Yeah.
When is All Out?
September.
First
Labor Day weekend.
Labor Day weekend, like it always is.
Said that promotion has nothing for me. Nothing.
I don't know if it was too much, and this wouldn't make sense, but I don't know if the whole Punk thing just threw Tony for a loop, and he's just kind of flustered in his head on how to book some stuff right now. But that should be the only thing that he should be flustered about. Everything else
I'm more interested in the ROH stuff.
And they've done a better job of building that up than they have. Yes, 1,000% agree.
And how much of that have they really been building up lately? It seems like Ring of Honor is kind of taking a back seat for a few weeks. They're starting to build it back up again.
Yeah,
I noticed, but they got a pay-per-view now in July. Just that don't have a TV show, aren't really building anything up on TV, but we're gonna have a pay-per-view.
Well, we talked about that because, like we said, you don't just get a TV deal like that. That's not those things aren't easily to come by. So if they switch to a monthly or something pay-per-view schedule like TNA did whenever they first started, I'm all for that, because then it still gets those guys work. They can still build matches. You can have them cut segments and add in stuff on Rampage with the ROH people. Like I'm 1,000% on board with what they're doing so far with the ROH stuff.
Shoot, I wish they cut out a half an hour slot for them on Dynamite. Give me something.
Or give Rampage more.
Stuff. Give me something.
Or YouTube. They have Dark and Dark Elevation on YouTube. You could do something with that for Ring of Honor to set it up.
But yeah, I look at them right now, and it now more than ever, I feel like it's the fan running the show and not the booker running the show. In regards to Tony Khan,
MJF was right.
Now here's the question for you. Seeing that, how much of that is Cody leaving the company? Because we all know that Cody's like Tony was supposedly the booker, right? And the end all be all, the final stamp of approval. But that doesn't mean that Cody and Kenny or the Bucks or whoever didn't have say in the story, and then they just worked it out to where Tony would sign off on it, correct? Like we could safely assume that, right?
I think last summer, we kind of heard that rumor that there was a implosion internally with the 4 VPs. And that Tony was going to start taking more of a leadership role on stuff. And since then, if that was actually true and what happened, since Tony's kind of taken over, I think whenever the wrestlers were running the show was a better show than what it is right now.
Mm-hmm. Nate had a couple of things.
Is Joe really injured?
Joe's filming a show.
Okay.
No,
so that's his right. That was his write-off.
Mm-hmm. With that little chair shot to the shoulder.
Okay.
Well, and they've worked over the shoulder leading up to that. But yeah, so that was the write-off. I'm assuming he'll be back. I haven't heard anything definitive on when he wraps up his part to go from there. So I don't know, but you would have to assume Joe's going to be on the show. I mean, he's your ROH TV champ. So
yeah.
They have him there, and then
Yuta's the pure champ,
the pure title champ in ROH.
Jonathan Gresham is signed; he is the main champion. So,
and I love the promo he cut last night.
Yes, that was good.
That.
Oh, yes, that was a good promo. Yes,
good. Glad he's back.
He said, "I'm tired. I'm tired of being left out of the discussion as being the best technical wrestler in the world. I've worked 17 years to perfect my craft. I've done it all over the world, and my name's not even mentioned, but you guys talk about Danielson and Claudio and Sabre. Like, yeah, Gresham, all for that. Give me that Gresham, and I'm sold.
I don't need to see Gresham so much in Ring of Honor. Yes, keep him there, establish Ring of Honor for a bit, but I'd be ready for him just to move over to AEW real quick.
I mean, you can get that with if they're going to do like the ROH AEW interaction shows, like those types of pay-per-views where you could maybe make those like we talked about you can maybe make those into your Battle of the Belts, where you have both of those companies being defended, and make that into a bigger show than just a 1 hour where you get, a women's title and a tag title, but actually make it into something special. But yeah,
how about Tony getting Hook and Danhausen in Ring of Honor? I wouldn't mind both of those going there.
Danhausen was signed to Ring of Honor before they got bought out and closed their doors.
I think they'd be a better fit for the Ring of Honor brand than for where they're at right now in AEW.
I don't know, but like I said, back to story wise, like I love the Christian and Luchasaurus stuff. I think it was a nice change for Luchasaurus. I think it's something that he needed.
New intro was real cool.
As the weeks play out, give me the explanation as to why.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make sense right now as to exactly why he just decided to stay with Christian and forget Jungle Boy.
Yeah.
But if he keeps murdering people and Christian keeps cutting promos the way he's cutting promos, when Jungle Boy music hits and he comes back, he's going to be a made top tier babyface more than what he was before he left with the injury. Like, think like back to like when Miz just ran down Cena that whole summer while Cena was off filming movies when Miz first came to Raw, and then Cena showed up and said, "Oh no, you got a pay-per-view match and it's against me," and the crowd went nuts. Like, do that same story with Christian and Luchasaurus, and then have Jungle Boy come out and he'll be made more than what he already is.
Yeah. Because then it was just like this week, you had everybody last week was like, "Oh, did Christian go too far talking about Jungle Boy's family?" And then he comes out this week and kind of
double down on it.
Yeah.
I forget what I just had a point and I forget what I was going to say. I'm come back to it. If it pops back into my head, we can come back to it.
That old age, man.
Anything else from AEW that you want to discuss? Hits, misses, likes, dislikes, anything the otherwise? This is a very crucial time for them, because you have the wave of Forbidden Door, which started off as a tsunami and just trickled in like a little ripple.
Yeah. And
you could see that based on the sales and ticket prices and how those dropped down to the day of the show. People were unloading tickets for like $3 was the lowest I saw a ticket go for.
We'll see what the buy end up being.
With everybody hurt on the roster, hey, nice time to start pushing some people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's why I like Brody King winning last night. There's something different, at least.
Something different.
But don't just see that in where they do good, then it's a double-sided coin, right? They do good by having him win, and it's exciting. It's a fresh guy. He looks the part. He can wrestle his ass off for being as big as he is. But on the flip side of the coin is he won one match, and then you're going to have him lose the following week to the champ. So
almost
you've
like
done nothing.
Archer.
In the end, you've done nothing for him.
Yep. Yeah. Feeding him to Hogan.
Yeah.
That's what to do. Straight up feeding him, boy.
All right. Anything else AEW wise?
Ethan Page. I wish he could win sometimes. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
All ego. I just see all shoulders on Matt lately.
There's a t-shirt.
I mean, you're not wrong in that statement.
Yeah. They said he's 28-9. Where?
Dark and elevation.
Where?
Where everybody gets their wins.
And that's the problem.
That's it's sad. I like Page a lot.
Whenever you see him on Dynamite, all he's doing is losing.
Yeah.
That's it. Mm-hmm. He's either cutting a promo or all shoulders on Matt.
They need. Did they have too many people come in at the same time.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I mean, if you think about it,
Bring in
in
talent,
less than a year, right?
Yeah.
You had Keith Lee, you had CM Punk, you had Danielson,
Swerve.
now Claudio. Like, you have all these people come in, and people are bitching because they're not getting pushes right away and everything else and all that. And you can't just. There's only a handful of people that will come in and be near the top of the card right from the door. And that, to me, out of those, you have Punk and Danielson, Cesaro, maybe, depending on the story, right? But it's like it just threw them into this indie match style where all they're doing is just booking matches. And they got away from the storytelling and building people up. Like, if you think about where we were at before all those people came in, you built people up the right way. You built up Hangman, you built Britt Baker, you established the pillars of your company, right? And now it's just we'll have match after match after match. And people will tune in just because it's the diehard wrestling fans that are excited to see these matchups that they've never seen before.
Yeah. Do you think Cody was a storyteller?
I said from day one he was the WWE guy in AEW, and that's what eventually got him out. And for all the shit that Cody got from his own stories, but Cody knows how to tell stories.
I didn't mind Cody in AEW. Some of Cody's matches were the things I look forward to the most in AEW.
Agreed.
Where's the checks and balances at with all these people that have 30 years in the business that are in the back?
Yeah.
Where are they at?
Yeah.
Where's Mark Henry at? Where's
Show.
Dustin at? Where's Malenko at? Where's Jerry Lynn at? Why aren't these guys relied more on for being in creative and booking? Not saying that they're not, but why is this not more of a? I mean, you have like those four names alone, given their history and what they've done in the ring and how good they were in all facets of the game. You mean to tell me you can't have those four guys not just produce, but you can't have them help creatively or point out Billy Gunn, like say, hey, this doesn't make sense based off if you do this now, what does it mean 3 months from now?
Yes, Sting.
It really depends. I mean, we don't know what the backstage creative process is. You know, it could be all those guys involved, or it could just be Tony. You know, it's hard to say. No one's really come out and said what the process is, but
I just
if they're
feel
not
like
involved, I agree. It's a disservice if he's not involving these people.
I just feel like the longer that we've gone with AEW around, and especially this last year, right? Maybe 7 months or so, you've gotten away from what made you different.
And also, now you're using your originals.
Yeah, they are, and word is more people are planning on leaving. Santana being one of them.
I saw that.
Him and Ortiz, rumor and innuendo, had a blow up. And I mean, if you look back, they haven't been on TV. They haven't wrestled tag matches. Santana was taking bookings by himself outside the company. So, I mean, that looks to be done. I hope he's okay. I hope he's okay because I know that it looks like he tore up his whole knee on that Uranagi.
Slowly lost all the Dark Order.
Yeah.
Which was building to something.
I mean, you had that year after Brody of Dark Order being such a focus. And it's gone to nothing.
Said it's interesting time because you're starting to see the honeymoon period has wore off for me as a viewer, right? Like now I'm looking at it more
nitpicking now.
Not even nitpicking, but now we're like The chinks in your armor are there. Like before you had the force field up, and there's still people that say the force field is there, and they will never say anything wrong about AEW and what they do. But if you watch it with an unbiased eye and actually just watch it for being a weekly pro wrestling program, they have a lot of chinks in the armor.
I've been watching Raw more consistently, and I still watch AEW Dynamite consistently. I pretty much haven't watched Rampage a whole lot lately. Now, between the two, AEW is still entertaining me more than WWE. But am I completely entertained by AEW, like to where like it's the most enjoyable product? No, there's definitely a lot of issues that I'm having with them. But I don't know. Maybe it's might be time to watch some other stuff. Maybe I'll watch more New Japan. But
yeah.
All right. With that being said, let's segue over to WWE because there's some stuff to get into there leading up to this card, Money in the Bank, which we'll break down here shortly and run through our predictions on a 6-match pay-per-view. You want to talk about a fall off from a pay-per-view? This was supposed to be a stadium show and be one of the big 4 pay-per-views of the year for them, and it turned into a change of venue, running opposing the UFC on their biggest night of the year. And a 6-match card that I have really no interest in seeing at all.
I'm hoping this show's only like a 3-hour show because I
don't think you'll get a full 3 hours.
Because I mean, you're getting 2 ladder matches, so those are going to take up some time. But the other 4 matches, I don't know if you're going to get a lot out of them.
All right, so let's touch on stuff from the week on the go home to Money in the Bank. That was. I'm going to start with last night right off the bat. That opening segment was trash. There was nothing that was done in that opening segment as a TV viewer that made me want to keep watching the show.
Was that them all on the ladders?
Yeah.
The same segment they run every year, though.
Yeah, I'm tired of that gimmick, too.
Yeah.
I didn't do
that. I tweeted out, why isn't the 7-foot Nigerian giant pushing the ladders over while the dumbasses are on top of it, so nobody can compete and he can just walk into Money in the Bank, climb a ladder, reach up and grab the belt?
He was waiting for MVP. He was waiting for MVP to tell him.
Like, it makes no logical sense that you're facing these 5 men in a ladder match. All 5 of them are on top of a ladder.
But has it ever turned chaos?
What'd you say, Jay?
Has it ever turned to chaos? No.
Because you can't injure the people. You can't get injured the week before the event.
A couple days, the night before.
This one, exactly a day before.
But it's the optics. Like, I'm looking at that and I'm watching it and I'm like, this makes no sense to just stand in the ring. And then I didn't know what they were. I thought they were going to run out of microphones.
So what?
I thought they were going to run out of microphones, that opening segment, with as many people that had one and talked. So you had
get the talking stick. Everybody takes the microphone.
Everybody had a mic.
You had Seth Rollins up there humping the ladder before they all started to speak, slow stroking it.
Look at
and
you
everybody
smiling.
got
You're entertained.
And everybody got their. That might have been the best part of the opening segment. And then you had everybody give their turn as to why they're going to walk out with the title, and they've all cashed in on Roman Reigns before, blah, blah, blah. Then you had The Miz come out, Zeke, Corbin, Madcap, for whatever reason. Then you have Pierce say, guess what, guys?
Yes, for that last spot.
That's not what they did in the opening segment.
To vie for that last spot, to say why they should be in that last spot.
Then you set up a battle royal with all of those guys.
I love that everybody thought it was for number 1 contender. Nobody listens. Just watch the show and pay attention. They gave you a preview.
You had all those guys in the battle royal. Corbin wins the battle royal just to say he won a battle royal. It didn't give him the last spot in the match.
It was a preview for tomorrow.
To set up for them to wrestle the 4 of them. Got to wrestle again to see who qualifies in the last spot.
Mm-hmm.
make it make sense.
He gave you a preview.
Corbin won because you know that he wasn't going to win later that night.
That was the dumbest opening segment I've seen from them in a long time.
I enjoyed it.
I turned it off. Shut it off. I tuned out, didn't watch the rest of the show. That to me does not that does nothing. All you did, literally all you did with that was fill 30 minutes of your show. It was a time filler. That's all it was. It gave no progression to anything. It had no impact on anything.
What are you going to progress in a match that's tomorrow?
Why are you having all the participants in the match tomorrow night in a battle royal with 4 people that aren't in the match? That sets up the winner gets nothing. Just they won a match on SmackDown. What is the point in that as your opening segment to your go home show?
He gave you a match you haven't seen in a while, a battle royal.
Are you kidding me right now?
On Monday.
Flip the channel.
You haven't seen it in a while, but it was flip the channel. You see it 2 hours later.
It was on Monday. They had a battle royal on Monday too.
Thank you.
I didn't know.
And then they had 2 competitors fight later.
I didn't watch Raw. So
yes, they had a battle royal on Monday. I don't understand it. Like, how can you not come up with something better than that?
What do you want for a pay-per-view that's tomorrow?
I don't want the 6 guys sitting on top of a ladder talking about the same thing that they talked about since they all qualified for the stupid match that's taking place tonight.
It's the same formula every year.
That's the problem.
If
you're not seeing that, then that means you're just blinded by what they give you because you don't want anything different. Stop using the same formula. It doesn't work.
Works for me. I'm in there. You want the same formula of blood and guts every year, and you're going to watch.
I think we said that we didn't want to see that, but
you want the same formula for Hell in a Cell, and you're going to watch.
I watch because we talk about it and we cover it. I'm not watching it because I'm truly interested and invested.
So you're not interested in Money in the Bank at all?
Not at all.
I am.
Not at all. Neither match, men's nor women's. This is the least interesting Money in the Bank that I've watched since they started doing it. And that's counting the corporate climb the ladder on top of the office building. Bullshit where they killed Rey Mysterio off by throwing him off the roof, and he was back in 3 weeks.
We'll circle back to that.
How are you not interested?
I'm interested in the women. I'm not interested in the men's.
The women's to me is a foregone conclusion.
I think for the men, I only care about one person in that match. I don't care about any of the other ones, so it doesn't make me interested in the match.
For Money in the Bank purposes, what's better, a babyface or a heel?
Heel.
Babyface.
Oh, always a heel.
Always a heel. It's a heel cat. It's a heel move. No babyface cashes in. So you're going against all logic right there from the start. The only man that I'm interested in seeing win the Money in the Bank is Riddle. And I don't want it. Sheamus, no. Drew, absolutely not. Seth, hell no.
He doesn't need it.
He doesn't need it, but he's the only one I care about in the match.
Almost, definitely not. He's just there to hold the ladders. That's all he's there for.
Yeah.
And watch they put on almost.
Don't do that.
He'll probably put on Madcap.
You want to build stars?
Yeah, that is the way to build the stars.
I laid out this scenario last week on why Sami Zayn should win. and it's a way more interesting story than anything they're going to do coming out of it.
That's what I said. You laid it out, it's interesting, and they're not going to do it that way. So if you throw logic into the equation, it's never going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even throwing in. I mean, that's not even like a logical thing. That's just something it's breaking your formula. It's different.
So you just dropped 3 people that you're interested in winning the match, but you have no interest in the match.
No, I said the only person I'm interested in is Riddle.
You just laid out a story about Sami Zayn. So I see you want him to win.
Last week you were sitting on the beach in a black sweatsuit, so you missed the point last week.
I know, but you just said Sami Zayn, right?
No, I said I laid out a scenario last week about how Sami Zayn can win. That doesn't mean I'm interested in Sami Zayn winning, because Sami Zayn is not.
Well, if you booked it, you're interested. If you booked it, you're interested. If you thought it out, you're interested. Seth Rollins. There's 3 people right there.
I have a childhood.
I didn't say Seth Rollins. Chris said Seth Rollins.
I know Chris said Seth Rollins, so there's 3 people right there.
No, but I gave you one match. I gave you one person.
You gave me Riddle.
One.
You gave me Riddle, but you booked Sami Zayn.
Based off of our conversation last week, Jay.
If you booked it, you're interested. If you booked it, you're interested. There's 2 for you. Don't know who you want to win.
No, absolutely not. This guy.
Oh, what, the men?
I mean, well, let's not give our predictions.
Yeah, I was going to say, we need to do predictions. Should we just get into predictions now?
Why not? Go ahead, because I don't care. There was nothing else to discuss on either one of those shows.
All right. You want to start with Money in the Bank, or you want to work our way up? You want to
go into the male models? You want to go into it? Because I didn't watch it. So from the way you guys were talking pre-show, I guess I got to go back and watch it.
I didn't mind it. I'm just saying I didn't mind it. I'm looking forward to it. It's something different.
I'm kind of looking forward to it, but it was too long.
It was long.
It was too long. And
I like how McAfee was trying to help it out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, if anybody can pull it off, it's gonna be what's his name?
Max Dupree.
Max Dupree. I'm gonna call him LA Knight.
You're saying it wrong. It's Max Dupree.
Because he's the one that kept me in it and going in and out of it.
Yes, it was. It was. Mm-hmm.
That's his job. He's good on the mic. So,
which is terrible, because that's all they're gonna have him do.
Yeah.
But I'm interested in it because it's something different. It's something different from New Day and the Viking Raiders. It's something different from Sheamus and Drew. It's just something different.
But the same point, Steve, for what you said. It's like he never did anything for me in the ring, so I enjoy him more on the mic than I enjoy watching him wrestle.
Mm-mm.
He's not just. He's better in the ring than just being a talking figurehead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that.
Like, Don Callis was actually a good wrestler, and they just had him talk. And he's spoken about that way back whenever him and Lance did their podcast. But he talked about them coming in, and he was supposed to team up with Rick Martel, and they were going to get a run and everything else. Like, Callis was actually a good wrestler. And
I know he had some matches, but I never watched any of them other than like what they did on Raw with him. But he was more a manager then too, as a wrestler. But
that's what I'm saying. If you go watch Callis stuff on YouTube prior to him coming into WWE, he could wrestle. Yeah. And that's where I see Eli Drake, LA Knight, Max Dupree.
I need him to be like the last straw. Like, if I got to get it done myself, I'll have to come out there.
And there's a way to do it to make it entertaining and make it make sense that that's why he's doing it.
Yeah.
But if you're just gonna have him be out there and be the figurehead to get these other guys over that are in the group, that's a disservice to him.
Mm-hmm.
Especially that Mace.
Yeah.
Marseille.
Marseille.
I'm okay with Monsoir.
It's probably a good paycheck though.
Oh, I hate saying these names. All
right, let's run through this card real quick.
All right, we'll kick it off with the Undisputed Tag Team Championship: Usos versus the Street Profits.
Match of the night.
Definitely has potential.
Yeah, I would agree with you there, Jay. I need Montez on a single run by himself.
They alluded to that in
it's time
last night.
It's time.
Slow burn it. Make him be your Iron Man in this upcoming year's Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
and then have him go off from there.
They've been marketing stuff. Just I've seen more just him solo than as the Street Profits.
Like they had a Q&A, and Kayla was like, "One of the questions are, I heard you and Dawkins have beef between each other." And he was like, "No, I guess you got that from the dirt sheets." So playing a little seed.
We gonna see Sean and Marty.
Look, we said this on here a while ago.
Yeah,
he's the star of the tag team. You know, like
we thought the last draft it was going to happen.
And that one fight he had against Roman, he looked good.
He's changed his body. He's changed his body. He's added a ton of muscle. Like when he first came up, he was just like that wiry athlete that was just jumping out of the freaking arena doing shit. But he's filled in. Like he looks like he could be a top guy now.
Yeah. But I like that they're giving Dawkins some play, so he's not going to be like the straight Marty. You know,
that won't last long. You know that.
Yeah, okay.
You know that.
He's looking good in some solo matches, but
he
doesn't have Montez's it factor.
Yeah, for it being match of the night, I can agree with you there, but I mean the Usos aren't losing the belts.
No.
Usos
all around.
Solo Sikoa is allegedly going to be called up, so maybe you get a run in with him at the pay-per-view.
Okay.
To cause the interference for them to retain. Other than that, I don't got nothing for you in this match. Like it'll be a good match. It'll be entertaining, probably the most entertaining one of the night. But
then do we start the same shit all over again? Now Roman's gonna have to run through Solo, beat the shit out of him to earn his way through.
You give me main event Solo.
I mean, if he comes in and acknowledges him right away, no. Like, but hey, in any organization, you got to earn your keep, and you got to get jumped in.
And you're the youngest too. We got to put Scrappy. You got to put Scrappy Doo in his place.
Yeah, you don't just get to put you don't just get to put the cut on. You got to earn the cut.
Let him fight everybody out there. Jay and Jimmy, and Roman, and the Wise Men.
And what the honor is. I love that name.
Jay, go back last week and listen to what I said about Sammy, because
okay,
when you hear what I said about it, then you'll know why, based on the conversation we had, why I laid it out the way I did.
Yeah. All right, up next, Raw Women's Championship: Bianca Belair versus Carmella.
Nobody cares about this match. No. I mean, we got here because Rhea has a concussion and is not clear to wrestle. Allegedly, that's what the injury is.
Was definitely more interested with Rhea in this match.
Yes.
Yeah. We've seen this match like 3-4 times and I didn't care about any of them.
I mean, I'm not going to completely shit on it. Carmella has improved drastically in the ring from where she was, but there's just no steam behind it. So to me, this is something that you could have did on Raw. Bianca's not losing this. Yeah.
Bianca.
We had this discussion, I think, a few weeks ago that Carmella just, I think, is as much as she's improved in the ring, I don't think she's proved that she's not a one-dimensional character. And we've seen what we're going to get out of her. So, yeah, I definitely have Bianca, too.
But have they given her space to change her character?
They tried to do with that whole pretty Carmella, but she was still Carmella. Like, I don't think it really evolved into anything different.
Would you prefer heel or face?
Carmella?
Yeah.
Heel.
Okay.
I could take either way.
I mean, you could say this.
Face,
You
it's
could
hard
say
to
the
turn
same.
the face.
You could say the same argument for Bianca. They haven't let her grow as a character at all. She's still the smiley, happy to be here, lucky
That
champ.
was our argument with her last year.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Bianca hasn't. I don't think she's grown at all. She's definitely the same character she was last year. They had potential for her to grow because they were trying to reestablish her back in that spot, but they kept the formula. They just let it go and they rehashed the same shit.
What is the reason for her to turn heel right now? Maybe
say, Jay?
she lost to Becky, but they went the other route, turn Becky heel.
For Bianca to turn heel?
Yeah.
I don't need Bianca to turn heel.
Oh.
I just think they could develop her character better.
Yeah, stop giving me just the smiley, I'm happy to be here.
It's the same shit they did with Apollo, the same shit they did with
the Apollo
Finn.
Crews thing.
You know, it's just like, just
go out there and smile.
Yeah, I'm just happy to be here.
They're giving
You're the champ.
They're giving Bianca the Cena babyface champ formula. It's the hustle, loyalty, respect. I'm always going to get up. I'm always going to overcome. You're never going to keep me down. You're going to have to kill me to beat me. It's the same formula just being applied to Bianca right now.
But then that's every face.
Yeah.
Nowadays, yeah.
Yeah, how do you change that?
Don't do the same formula. Create
Well,
individual
like, how do you change
characters.
that, like, for a face and like?
I mean, we've seen
Either that or you're
babyface
scrappy.
We've seen babyface champions that weren't booked in that light that were babyface champions. I mean, match-wise, yes, you're going to have the heat. You know what I mean? Like, the babyface is going to beat down the champ. They're going to overcome the adversity, find a way to win and come out on top. Like, yeah, that's the formula of the match, right? However you get to it, what movesets you do and all that, that's on you guys as wrestlers to keep us entertained. But essentially, that's the formula of the match. Like, you're not going to – that's never going to change. But character-wise, she's more than just a smiley, you know. And then from time to time, you still have her throw in the girl. Like you're like you can't be both ways.
Yeah, she was
like,
better in NXT.
No, yeah.
My biggest qualm with Bianca is the whole I'm happy to just be here. Like, no, you're the EST. Flaunt that shit. Like, put your chest out. You guys got to come up on my level. There's a difference between confidence and cockiness. And as a babyface, you can be confident without being cocky.
That turns heelish.
I was going to say, and they could do the same character with her as a heel, but it's just like, then you're playing the fence of what has changed in her character. Like, if that's the same gimmick, they're going to use it whenever she's heel.
It's across the board, top and bottom, they lack stars. So you can't have any growth if you don't have the right people to go up against. So when you're wrestling the same people over and over and over and over again, you're not going to have a chance to grow and develop because you're doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. Like, how many times have we seen Bianca and Becky since SummerSlam last year? Like,
and Becky's the perfect example. If they would have just kept the formula on Becky and just held her down, we would have never seen the man. We would have never seen the growth that and the potential that she had. And right now they're holding Bianca down too much with the formula, and they need to let her grow and see how she can grow and develop into a character.
And they didn't change the formula on Becky. That was a botch punch to the face that set that rocket ship off.
But they,
if Nia Jax
never
punched her,
but she wasn't that happy smiley to be here. She was the scrappy. I'm gonna come and take it.
But you saw, you saw when she turned on Charlotte, they, instead of booing her, they cheered her. So, like, that right there goes to show you they didn't book it properly because they thought she would get booed. but Becky doesn't get to grow into being Becky. And by the way, I love the fact that she like just no-showed John Cena whenever he walked in.
Yeah.
And just sat there with the glasses on, like, bro, I can't see you. For real, I can't see you. You're not on my level. Like, I love that about her. That was the best. That was probably my favorite part of the show on Monday night.
Agreed.
Speaking of Cena, we'll go into U.S. Championship Theory versus Bobby Lashley.
So, rumor was Cena's next match was supposed to be against Theory at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Now came out today. I saw that Cena's potentially not going to have a match until WrestleMania next year. So,
which makes sense for Hollywood too.
Yes, it does.
Cena versus The Rock.
Twice in a lifetime.
There's a whole nother discussion to be had there, and we're already an hour and a half into this pod, so we won't do that right now. But Theory, unfortunately, Theory is going to win this.
Same.
I agree.
Theory.
He won't win it clean, though. There's no way he's beating Lashley clean. Next.
All right. SmackDown Women's Championship, Ronda Rousey versus Natalya.
This was the only match that I was excited about until last night. And then they just it was a wet fart in church.
The 2 backstage promos.
Yeah. We're going to set up the rocking the boat. I thought, like, okay, Natty's getting a TV segment, rocking the boat. I like it. Best of all time. They're playing on the words. I like it. No, it was just her being interviewed backstage. Like, that's all it was. Rehashing the same shit she's been saying for weeks. Like, you get me invested, and then you pull that last night, and it's like, all right, nah, I don't care. I don't want to watch anymore. Like last week, if they would have did last week's segment last night,
minus the stroller,
although just having the stroller was better than what they were originally going to do.
Yeah.
If they would have did that last night, I'm coming in here today and saying that's the only match I'm watching on the show. It's the only match I care about. Natty was great in it. Ronda had great lines in it. It made sense. It built them up the right way for each other for the match. And then you go home and you want to see who's going to tap who. It would have been perfect. But last night, they ruined it. Ronda's not going to lose, so I got Ronda.
Ronda.
Why are we watching this tonight? Like, there's no rhyme or reason to watch.
I'm definitely not
show.
interested in that
No.
match.
All right, so now we'll go into Money in the Bank, Women's Money in the Bank. What do we got?
Somebody else can go first. I want to hear what you guys got to say about this.
It's Liv or Becky, and I'll go Liv.
This is if you really want a shot in the arm for your women's division, this is it. Let them fight it out. Bayley comes in, grabs the Money in the Bank, takes the Money in the Bank.
So you want Bayley to grab the case when she's not even in the match?
You're right. Brock Lesnar did it a couple years ago.
What?
Hornswoggle won the Cruiserweight Championship when he wasn't even in the match.
Mm-hmm. If Brock Lesnar could do it, why can't Bayley do it? I mean, they need something.
Bayley SummerSlam.
They need something.
So, all right. So take your Bayley angle out of the equation. If you're just looking at the 7 names that are in this match, who would you put it on?
I got to give it to Becky.
Chris?
She just came back, I think, to help build her up, and they still know what they're doing with her, but I think I'd give it to Lacey Evans. If they're gonna run her as a heel, just seems what they're doing right now. She deserves to be built up.
If you're gonna run her as a heel because they flip flop so many damn times on her right now, but you want to run her as a heel, Liv climbing up to reach it. Everybody else is wiped out. Lacey tips her off or knocks her off, and she takes the belt because the fans are going to pop for Liv.
Yeah.
So if you want to start Lacey with the heat run and the official heel turn for her, that's who she needs to knock off the ladder to take the briefcase.
Me personally, I'm over Liv. I've cooled off on her push.
She never really got a push.
Just and the matches she had, it's just like they didn't do anything for me. So it's like after watching the matches, just like there's no reason I wanted to see her become champ.
I mean, you look at this, Becky's the obvious, right? But I think her and Asuka will continue on, and they'll end up having a program at SummerSlam.
I'm thinking if you pick Becky, it's going to be Becky and Seth, and I don't want.
I can't have
the other.
Becky doesn't need it.
No,
she doesn't.
She doesn't need it, but she'll be the best one with it.
She would.
It's very true.
But I'd like to see what Lacey would do with it if you're going to go here with her.
Yeah.
True. Building stars.
So speaking of Becky and Asuka, I don't know if you guys saw, WWE put out a top 10 list this week of the greatest cash-ins, or the greatest cash-ins of all time for Money in the Bank. Number 1 was Asuka getting the title when Becky relinquished it.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
There's only one number 1.
Yeah, it's Seth at Mania.
That's
it.
it.
Triple threat. Like, that's it. Hands down. We're not even having an argument. We're not even doing the list.
Yeah.
It's not even doing the list.
Storyline, Chris.
I was watching this, and like Dolph was like, I think number 5. I think Seth was number 2. And I was sitting there, I was like, who is number 1? And they went to that. I was like, no, they are not giving this number 1.
He said Seth is like number 2.
I think I don't even remember. It was either 2 or 3, but I think it was number 2.
Well, Seth's not the man in his own household, so I mean, I guess he would come up short to his wife. Honestly, I don't even know. I don't. Lacey, to me, Lacey taking it off Liv would be the most. I guess the best storyline to come out of it if you're going to build towards Lacey and Ronda at SummerSlam.
I think
potentially at a cash-in type deal. Alexa, to me, is the safety net in this match, if you give her the case.
Yeah.
So,
who's the ring general of this? Would that be Asuka or Becky?
Probably Asuka, Becky, and Alexa.
Probably.
You could have one outside, one inside.
With everything, and this is all seriousness. This is the match that I may not watch just for my sheer own health. We talk about Sammy Guevara killing himself in damn near every match, and Darby. Shotzi Blackheart, please.
Every dive.
Do not do something. Do not do something that could potentially injure you and ruin your career. That's all I'm going to say.
So it's going to happen. Kenny Donald brought that up already. He thinks that she's going to come in.
Yeah.
Donald
said Bayley's going to win Money in the Bank without being in the match. Just come out of the crowd, climb the ladder, and grab the briefcase.
Why not?
And we open up Raw with a ding dong hello segment.
I was hoping she's the last model.
That would have been.
Yeah. Never know.
Bason.
I mean, to have Bayley come out and just do that, like, I would not hate it.
No,
it would. I mean, yeah, yeah.
UPS person drops off a package. She opens it up. It's the Money in the Bank.
That sounds like some shit they would do.
Get into the men's.
We kind of already discussed this a little bit, but So we did the discussion. What's everybody's predictions? I don't think we need more discussion on this match.
It's
Riddle, even though I hate a face with the case, I'll go Riddle.
I see nobody else but Riddle.
Fuck. I'm going Seth. I can't pick Riddle. I can't pick him.
I see nobody else but him.
There's nobody in that match other than Seth.
Who'd you pick? The women's? Oh, Lacey. Pick Lacey. Okay.
Yeah.
I told you, what was that last week? I think it was last week or the week before. I can't remember. I get so many confused.
Riddle, this is how you set up a match.
Listen, Riddle against Roman was Riddle's litmus test to see, can you be a guy? And he delivered.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like him as face getting the case, right? But
win and cash in at SummerSlam. Kenny.
So he got to fight Drew at Clash of the Castle.
Roman's not losing the belt until WrestleMania next year when he loses to Cody Rhodes. Book it now. 132.15, July 2nd. It's your WrestleMania main event next year.
Pretty sure you time-stamped Roman versus The Rock on that, but Steve's like the king in the Royal Rumble match. This is my pick. Oh, number 22 came out. This is my pick right here.
Hey, Heenan may have said that, but at the end of the day, he was still with Flair in the locker room.
Everybody's gonna pick that, just like everybody picked Cody to be at WrestleMania. I told you I knew it. My neighbor even knew it. I called that first.
Look, to be flat out honest with you, if I'm choosing between Money in the Bank and UFC tonight, I'm watching the UFC.
If UFC was for free, yes, I'd probably rather watch UFC.
They got Airbender on there. It ain't free.
Yeah,
I would rather pay money to watch UFC over this free pay-per-view tonight. That's all I'm gonna say.
And you're gonna enjoy it. It's because your expectations are so low.
Enjoy
it.
They're gonna be peeking over that chair, looking at you the whole time.
Think about it. The best way to get the title off for him and let him and Brock go at it. Both guys are tired and hurt. And out comes Riddle, cash in, wins the title.
All right, here, and I've been saying this the entire Roman title run. Whoever beats Roman, based on what Roman has done, is going to get the superstar, rock star, next guy, carry the company for 10 years. That's who needs to beat Roman.
Yep.
Cody. Is that what you call it? Cody the guy for the next 10 years?
Riddle cashing in doesn't do that for Riddle.
Bro.
It's not for return.
With that, we're gonna drink. We're gonna have a beer. That was it. Drink of the week. Chug. All right, this week's drink of the week. 4th of July weekend holiday is here, so we decided to go with GW's Little White Lie, and there's a lot of jokes and so
happy 4th of July.
Yeah, Cody's gonna stay for 2 years and leave. That may be true, Kenny, but I think his contract's longer than a 2-year deal. But you never know. And this injury time is going to be tacked on to the end of it. So,
yeah. You a superstar, but you ain't getting out of that.
Yeah, this is brought to you by Monkey Fist Brewing Company. It's at Traverse City, Michigan, and it's a tart cherry Belgian style ale. Listen, the beer distributor I went to was slim pickings as far as choices, but I figured 4th of July, George Washington tied into the theme, and we'll see what we got.
Definitely fits. What the cherry smells good on here.
Cherry's a trash flavor.
Oh, you sorely missed the conversation.
What's your favorite color of Kool-Aid?
Red, it ain't cherry. Fruit punch.
Okay.
Who drinks cherry Kool-Aid? Shit's gross.
What? All right, we're not having this discussion.
It's drinking a week,
I'll take Sharkberry over cherry.
See, I would think.
I mean, you can definitely tell with this that it's a Belgian style beer.
Yeah,
for sure. So if you don't like Belgian beers, I would stay away from this one because you definitely get the Belgian style beer. The cherry flavoring is good in it. Like I was expecting a little bit more tartness based off of it being, the cherry concentrate. I'm not mad at this at all, but Belgians aren't necessarily the highest on my list, so I'll go a 3 for this. I'm not hating it. I'll drink it.
Same. I am a 3. I have another.
I like the cherry smell. I just wish it had more of a cherry taste whenever I'm drinking it, because that's what I was expecting. But
you just getting the tart.
Not even so much that. I mean, it's a nice balanced flavor because I'm not a big Belgian fan, so I'm actually enjoying this. I just wish the cherry had more flavor in the beer.
And I think that's more because it is a Belgian style beer that's why you're not getting the flavor profile as prevalent as it should be.
Yeah, the smell, I'm getting that nice cherry flavor, but the actually drinking, I'm tasting just more of a Belgian beer. I think I'm just gonna go 2.5.
I'm with Chris, 2.5. I like it. It's drinkable, but 2.5.
I will say this: I would be interested to trying other beers from this brewery.
Same.
Like this is the first time I've come across anything from this brewery, and I would be interested in trying other stuff from them. So yeah, that's where I sit at it. It got me curious to see what else they make and put out. Anything else for drink of the week? No. All right, we're not going to cheers to drink of the week, but I will just say, be safe, have fun. If you are drinking, have a designated driver, and please do not shoot your fingers off with fireworks. Okay, that's my toast for this week's drink of the week. All right, drink of the week has led us into One Gotta Go, and to keep up with the holiday theme with the beer, I decided to go with.
Give me a second.
The one time he's not quick on the draw. So, with it being 4th of July weekend, we got types of fireworks, right? So I was gonna put together a list, kind of like fireworks shows. So you have like your downtown city show, you have your little local neighborhood show. You got, Joe Bang Bang from next door that buys $7,000 worth of fireworks and is shooting them off till 5 a.m. But instead of going that route, I decided to go with actual types of fireworks. So bottle rockets, Roman candles, sparklers, and smoke bombs. What do you guys got?
Whole list is trash. Sparklers got to go because I'll fight a kid over sparklers. I'll punch a baby if they come close to me with a sparkler.
This guy. No chill.
No chill. Yeah. I hate fireworks, so.
That's true.
All right, so Jay got sparklers.
I think I'm gonna go smoke bombs. I don't see the point of them. Covered in smoke. Smoke bombs can go.
For me, smoke bombs also. I'm not playing Call of Duty or any recon stuff, so I'm not coming out like who is it, Batista or anything. So there's no point for smoke bombs.
Sparklers, you can come out like Gilbert.
I don't mind sparklers. So,
and the reason why believe me, there was 1,000 different things I could pick from, but until fireworks became legal in Pennsylvania a couple of years ago, right? Like growing up, these were probably what was most available to people, right? That were able to get stuff.
Where's the snaps at?
I was just thinking.
I thought about doing this. I thought about doing the snaps, right? But those are just like fun. Like I wasn't gonna put them on here. Those to me, yeah, I left them off. I didn't feel like they added to the list, and I was trying to come up with a variety that would fit everybody's needs. Smoke bombs is like that's for your kids that don't like the bang bang, but or oh cool look, like you said, colored smoke, right? Sparklers, I mean, you know, you can write your name, you can do everything. Sparklers, like
that's your first one.
Yeah, that's your first. Yeah, that's your
first firework.
Yeah, Roman
you never
candles.
Forget your first.
No, never forget your first. Roman candles. I never really got into Roman candles. Those to me were always like, I don't know. Not that they were the most dangerous on this list, but between them and bottle rockets, I like bottle rockets more than Roman candles. So I wasn't the type that was shooting Roman candles at other people, which is what Roman candles eventually led to. So
yes,
for me, I'm gonna go with Roman candles to go off this list.
Yeah.
Where's the M80s at?
There was the M80s. There were cherry bombs. There was the
stick of dynamite, boy. That's what they are.
What's the? I forget I forget what they called it, but once I saw the picture of it, I knew what it was. But like the wheel thing that spun around.
That spun around and took off.
Yeah. You know, the little tanks.
The tanks.
The snakes. You remember the snakes?
Yeah.
You light them and they would just grow. Like that type of stuff.
If you want to see a show, come to Eastmont. My brother blows the block up every year. Blow the block up, peach him.
Where are you at?
Inside. Back home. If there was food, if there wasn't food, I'd be back home. There's food, so I'm in the cover, muffling my ears like this.
What time is the show?
Fireworks or gunshots. It's always the game.
Yeah, true story.
Yeah, just be safe, enjoy yourselves. You know, but try to be respectful a little bit and not continue to shoot stuff off till 4 or 5 in the morning.
True story.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all we got. One got to go.
Just quick. One quick thing. Last week, I don't think anybody's gonna be surprised, but Frasier was the most Emmy-winning show that got voted off,
and it had the most Emmy wins. Go figure.
Don't think this was the audience for that. So,
no, not at all. So,
all right.
Well, we don't have
Sorry,
transition into final thoughts. I thought before we get to final thoughts, we brought up last week. Donald brought up the list of top 20 fighting games.
Yes,
that was announced, and I wanted to save it for when Jason returns, so we could have a little bit of a longer discussion about it.
Absolutely.
So let's get into it. Let's break this down. A little gaming talk here before final thoughts to wrap up the show this week.
Okay. So there was the top 20 fighting games. I have all 20 of them, but I'll just do the top 10 for us. Number 10 was Blaze Blue Central Fiction. Number 9 is Dead or Alive Round 5. Number 8 is Mortal Kombat, the remake, 2011. Number 7, Soul Calibur 6. Number 6 is Killer Instinct, the remake, 2013. Number 5 is Skullgirls. Number 4 is Dragon Ball Z Fighters Z. Number 3 is the original Street Fighter 2. Number 2 is Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And number 1 is Super Smash Brothers Ultimate.
There's not a Tekken on that list.
There is a Tekken on a list, but
Tekken 2.
No. Tekken
Where's the original Mortal Kombat?
For Watch Mojo, they only do one per franchise, and then they pick the best one from that franchise and put on the list. So the original Mortal Kombat didn't make it because they said that the remake one added to it.
No, you don't put.
And I was like, no, you do the original.
Put a remake over an original.
If the original isn't good, you're not going to get it too.
Exactly. That's why I have an issue with like this list. Like with Killer Instinct, I prefer the first one. The original one is the better one, but they prefer the remake because it's all fine tuned and everything.
Who played the remake?
I was like, with the technology back then, it was perfect. It's still perfect to this day.
Who made this list?
Are they considering the remakes the new gen versions?
Yes,
the new gen,
yes, not the original. So with that Mortal Kombat 2011 is the one that came out for like PS3 and Xbox 360, not the one for arcade or Super Nintendo in that. Yeah.
Where's Fight Night?
Fight Night is not on here. They don't have no sports ones on here. The only one they have on it close enough is to that is Def Jam, Fight for New York at number 19.
They don't even have Vendetta?
No. They don't
Vendetta was better than Fight for New York.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why when I looked at this list, I was like, hold up, this is terrible.
Smash Bros. Number 1 is terrible.
Yes, and that's the newest one.
Even though it's the most popular.
It's the newest one. It's not even the best one. Melee's the best one. The second one for the GameCube.
One of the few games I played. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And for this, like I'm a big time Tekken player. Tekken 3, they have on the list at number 11. That revolutionized like all of like the 3D, like for the aspects of the gameplay and that stuff. And that's not in the top 10. That's my favorite fighting game. That's like automatic top 3. Number 1.
What was Soul Calibur?
Soul Calibur was Soul Calibur 6 at number 7. And Soul Calibur 6 wasn't even the best one. Soul Calibur
Virtual Fighter on there?
Virtual Fighter was the first 3D fighting game that ever came out and is not on here.
This is trash.
Don, can you run down the top 5 one more time for me?
Yes, the Skullgirls.
Never
played it, never heard of it. Number 4 is Dragon Ball Z Fighters. It's one of the new one, and I mean it's fun, but that should not be up in the top 5.
No, there's other Dragon Ball Z ones that are better than that one.
Yes, Budokai 3. Street Fighter 2, the original one. Okay. The World Warriors, yeah. Marvel vs. Capcom 2, The Age of New Heroes, and Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, the newest one.
So I agree with Street Fighter 2 and Marvel vs. Capcom being in the top 5.
I agree
with that.
Hands down, for sure.
But to not have the original Mortal Kombat not in your top 5 of fighter game, and for me, Tekken 2 for me was the one that got me hooked on Tekken. Like that was mine, and I'm maybe showing my age with it, but
same here. Tekken 2 was the one that brought me into the series, but I like Tekken 3 better. But I was surprised they didn't say Tekken 7 because it's fine tuned and everything. Yeah, it's fine tuned, but the original ones are still better.
But the fact that you left off, not only left off Fight Night, but you also left off Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Yes, I consider those fighting games,
which could possibly be one of the best games of all time.
Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So are they not throwing this in this list because they're categorizing that as being sports?
I'm guessing they are.
Fighting?
Yes.
Is Rated Rumble on here?
Rated Rumble is not on here. Not on the list at all.
So
they must be okay. They must be going full on fighting.
Yeah.
Just fight games. Yeah.
But see, like, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that like UFC, WWE, anything like that, should those be classified in fighting games too for this type of list, or that's more sports games only?
I don't know. I mean, you're picking two characters and you're fighting.
Yeah.
So I mean,
which is Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
Like how are you
fighting?
Like, yeah,
I consider them as fighting games. I do.
Yeah, I agree.
And for them not to have a Guilty Gear game on this list, this is like for the more advanced like fighters. For them not to have a Guilty Gear on here is blasphemous. Those were one of the better ones that came out like after King of Fighters.
Okay.
Primal Rage on there?
What is it?
Primal Rage?
No, Primal Rage is not on there.
I forgot about Primal Rage.
And even Eternal Champions. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not on here either. Yeah, but I'm like with Steve. did not have the original Mortal Kombat on here.
It was a trap.
That to me is the biggest. That to me is the biggest omission from the list. Like you can't. I mean, the fact that there was. For those of you that weren't outside and weren't alive for whenever that Mortal Kombat game came out, you have no idea what
it changed everything
that meant as far as gaming goes. The fact that you had to put in a blood code in order to get blood shown on the game, and the fact that I was in 4th grade, and they were passing around the blood code like it was crack. Like people were, yo, you got the code. Like
I was in that class. I remember that.
I had to hide the code in the case behind the little pamphlet that went on the inside that showed you the moves, so that my mom didn't see the code.
We were an outside generation. Now, like
I mean, yeah, I get it. But
this took us inside.
Yes.
Though there was like 30 of us in one person's house, that took us inside.
Yeah. Mortal Kombat on Sega and Street Fighter on Super Nintendo
kept you
that was the WCW Monday Night Raw Wars. Yeah. That was the Monday Night Wars between those two video games.
It didn't also not have a Mortal Kombat on here when the game came out. They put ratings on it. That's how games got ratings now because of Mortal Kombat.
Because of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, it changed everything. It gave everything a rating. And then they were the first ones with the fatalities, like to finish him at the end and all that stuff. Because there was no games before that had that. You just hit you just hit the person at the end and the round was over with. This was something added to it. And how many like different people, imitators like Primal Rage and all that stuff had like the Mortal Kombat of dinosaurs. That's what Primal Rage was. Or Eternal Champions was like the Mortal Kombat of like time traveling fighters. Like it changed fighting games.
You could take Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Smash, and Tekken, and if you counted their whole library, you wipe half that list off.
Oh, of course.
You wipe the whole list off. It'd just be nothing but those 5 games. So I don't know how you put some games even on that list. And then they have them that low. Mortal Kombat that low.
And it's not even the original. It's the remake.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's a trash list.
Yeah.
We can all agree.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Any other final thoughts from you, gentlemen?
No.
I gotta apologize to Steve. We're in the same. We're in the same Instagram chat group with the Dumb Marks, and I figured we followed each other. Apparently, we don't. So Steve followed me last week, and I went to follow Steve back. Apparently, I followed so much ass that I'm probably like a bot or spam. I can't follow anybody because every time I click on people's pages, he's like, follow back. Like, I can't follow people, so my bad.
This is what happens when you stay on the secret dark Instagram menu. You can't follow regular people.
I'm officially a bot.
Unbelievable.
There's the new title of this episode.
They capped me.
I have 2 quick sports things. USC and UCLA, they're trying to leave the Pac-12 for the Big Ten.
No, they left. They voted
on
it.
Did they? Oh, they approved it? Okay.
Yeah.
That's all. 2 LA teams going to the Midwest to play. And
when does this apply?
2024.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Quick. Very quick.
So look, we talked about this with when Texas and Oklahoma left the Big 12 for the SEC, and we said college football as we know it is going to be dead, and 5 years from now it's not going to look like anything that we remember. The whole argument as far as I don't care what colleges. Colin Dunlap was talking about this on 93.7 The Fan this week whenever it was announced. The whole topic of I don't care what conferences people are in as long as I have the best matchups every single Saturday and the right people that deserve to play for the championship are in the championship fold at the end of the year argument, to me, is flawed and foul, and it doesn't make sense, because so that the USC Rutgers matchup is the best matchup for you.
Mm-hmm.
A UCLA Northwestern, Indiana and USC.
Mm-hmm.
Then if you get them in the same conference, they're knocking each other off.
Exactly.
I think eventually where we're gonna go, you're gonna have, I would say, you're gonna have 4 main conferences, and roughly anywhere between 16 to 20 teams in those conferences, and then everybody else is going to be left out on their own. And it's going to be like, to me, all this does is this further shoehorns into, you have less teams that are going to play for the national championship every year.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to get the same teams in the playoff every single year, even whenever they expand the playoff.
Yep.
So I think this specifically was a move done by ESPN, who now holds the rights to the SEC games. So that 3:30 CBS game Saturday afternoon, the big one where it's Alabama, Florida, and all that, that's not on CBS no more. That's going to be on ESPN. So I think ESPN brokered and said, hey, SEC, reached out to Texas, Oklahoma. Look at what we got over here. Come join the SEC. Fox is the predominant home of the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
They said, "Oh, you want to grab Texas and Oklahoma? We're going to go after the 2 biggest LA markets, and we're going to get them to join the Big Ten."
And Pac-12 do have a thing with Fox also, so they just poach
and
themselves.
It's strictly TV money running the sport.
Yes, it is.
So that whole argument of don't play players, they're amateurs, they don't deserve money, bullshit. Because the TV money and the companies are dictating where these colleges end up. UCLA and USC projected, because the Big Ten is marketing their contract right now. They're projected to get, and this is all schools in the Big Ten, are projected to get, with the new TV rights deal, $50 million per college. Just off of TV money. So don't say we can't pay players. And don't say it's for the love of the game and all that other bullshit, whenever you're literally doing this as a money bag to get the most money for the university.
They can't play players, because if they start paying the players, then the presidents and all the other board directors aren't going to get their cut.
But they are paying players now. This is nothing but a recruiting tool as well. If I'm USC, UCLA, would I like the example with Jordan Addison with Pitt this year? USC went to him. He was not in the transfer portal and say, "Hey, you come over here with us. We'll give you a $3 million NIL deal."
Had a middleman do it, but yeah.
That's what it was. Addison then transferred and then the transfer portal and signs with USC. So all your lower schools, your Pitts, your West Virginias, your NC States,
poached.
Anybody that you can think of that's a middle tier school in your conference, as conferences are currently aligned, good luck keeping top tier players. So yeah, college football. I love college football, but the reason why college football is loved so much is gone now. It's dead. It's over with.
Yep.
There's going to be no more rivalries as we know them. The tradition, the folklore, the hatred for fan bases, all that. Like Pitt, West Virginia is starting up the backyard brawl again, and this is the first year in however many years they play. That's done and over with. You're not going to see that no more.
Oh,
and it's all because of greed.
All you had to do was start a base pay for college athletes.
Yep.
Could have avoided all this.
Hey, so they were already getting paid. They got free education. And a whole bunch of other shit. But
so yeah, USC traveling to New Jersey to play Rutgers.
Yeah.
UCLA. Or Rutgers traveling to New Jersey. Rutgers traveling to USC for a noon kickoff time, which is going to be 9 a.m. West Coast time. But we're all about player safety and everything else. What's best for the student athlete? So playing a football game at 9 a.m. is best for the student athlete? Fuck out of here with that bullshit.
Which if they have Friday classes means they're probably going to probably miss at least Thursday and Friday classes that week for travel.
Yeah. And then you say, oh, well, we can't have a tournament because it takes away from the classroom. Well, look what you're doing with scheduling and having people fly 3,000 miles back and forth. Sorry, Don. I didn't want to go on a rant there.
No,
but
that's fine.
I was going to say, why didn't we do sports this week?
It'll just have one more sports thing. Matt Scherzer, he's pitcher for the Mets. He's been hurt this whole season, but he had rehab starts down in their AAA minor league team. And whenever a big leaguer goes down for rehab starts, he normally pays for dinner and all that. And it said that on his last night, he paid for the whole clubhouse a $7,000 spread that included bone-in ribeye, filet mignon, and lobster for his teammates. Thanking them.
Best meal those minor leaguers will eat in their entire minor league career.
Yes, I mean that's just like thank you for like having me and all that stuff. You know, helping me get back on track and everything. And he also bought the teammates AirPods for them too. Before he went back up to the Mets this week.
Slide something to my travel expense.
Mm-hmm.
You got anything else, final thoughts wise that you guys want to touch on?
Send it home, man.
Before I do, Miss Marvel, been watching it on Disney Plus. Episode 4 was this week. Really done well. I'm thoroughly enjoying this series. Right. I really want to talk about this and break this down further. So we'll set up a little Marvel roundtable after this goes off. So
I still need to catch up on Moon Knight, Obi-Wan, and Miss Marvel.
Yeah, fucking guy.
I've been watching Yellowstone the past couple weeks, so that's been.
How many episodes is thing?
6.
Miss Marvel? 6. Okay. I didn't start yet.
Okay.
I've been watching The Boys and finishing Kenobi.
Yeah, but we'll get into that in deeper discussion because it's with the amount of stuff that Marvel has laid out is coming out over the next 2 years, and what they're doing, the amount of content and everything else. There's deeper dive questions, and I want to get into it. Maybe we can expand it because there's some people I want to have on the show to go over that with us. So I'll reach out and we'll figure out a way to set that up and go into it more.
And we all saw Doctor Strange.
I was just about to say, if you haven't watched Doctor Strange, that just went on Disney Plus, and Thor's about to come out this month. So,
yeah, Thor's next Friday. So yeah, it's the last half of the year for Marvel is huge. So
tons of content. That's what they
do. Yes, sir. All right, so this week, quote of the week to wrap up the show: "Go home happy." It's pretty much a standard, straightforward statement, and this is applied in every facet of life, and it's simple but yet true. A winner is just the loser who tried one more time. A winner is just the loser who tried one more time. With that being said, enjoy your holidays. Thanks for tuning in. Hit us up on social media. As always, we appreciate the love and support for the show. And until next time, I'm a Mark, you're a Mark. Tell a Mark. Y'all can catch us around the way.